Yes. Okay. So we're live, and it's Tuesday, and it's the AutoGraders BetaSaaSers meeting. And goodness me, what isn't happening? Richard, why don't you start off by telling me how you're doing?
Well, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Giving all that over, and the semester fine. But the interesting thing is, I think we have a new sort of section or to add to the textbook, because when you talk about the space, the Ariane rocket and the and we can now talk about the homework for AutoGrader.
Yeah, indeed we can. Yes, most amusing.
From my side, it's frustrating. I know how people feel. It's like, can't you just do this? Can't you just do that? And it's like, I'm sure, I mean, and I don't have like any great ideas, but it's like, can someone like really go look and figure out what's going on? But even that last one from Aaron, you know what? I didn't write the homework for I didn't write the AutoGrader, so I'm like, like I'm passing the ball. So
yeah, indeed. Well, I mean, I think we have. I mean, the problem. I mean, this is the problem that we have with using TAs to develop software. Is then, I mean, then I don't know. I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult. I mean, I spent a lot of time. on the AutoGrader. Like in this time last year and the year before, I was kind of like half time, and I had a lot more time to look into these things. I mean, basically, now that I've got, this TMUX thing sorted out, I mean, if Aaron basically says he doesn't know what to do with it, I mean, the buck stops with me. I mean, I will have to get in, and work. I mean, like I say, I've given the MOOC guys another week on it, but I think, I need to get that fixed up. So, yeah, I'll be looking at that this evening, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's great if you could make something happen. If I have any, I keep thinking, well, can't we just like do something with the old one? But I can't like quite figure out because of the changes to the language and the environment. So, but I'm surprised.
Yeah. I mean, that's a thing to consider. Like, I mean, I think now I have a handle on it. I mean, I can kind of get in there tonight, and I mean, what's frustrating is that. Yeah, I mean, anyway. I mean, I can get in there tonight, but I can basically see if I can find some sort of fix for it, and if I can't, then I absolutely very much be tempted to say, can I, will the old AutoGrader grade the new homework? And if it can, then it will, and we'll get that sorted. But yeah, I mean,
things would have to be changed in the environment because
yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I've been surprised at how. I mean, I think we'll just see. We'll just have to see. I mean,
my understanding, and I believe you know this better than I, is that some of the constructs that people are going to be using doing the assignment in the new environment are not compatible with the old one.
Yeah, I mean, it's Rails 3 versus Rails 4. Yeah, I mean, it will have to. I mean, basically, from my point of view, is I've been trying to avoid getting my hands deeply dirty in the AutoGrader, and I think we've now, to the extent that we get up at the point where Aaron says he's not sure what's going on, then that I don't know. It's difficult. It's this whole thing about boiling a frog, right? Is that all the time I kind of wanted, Aaron's been promising during the semester to like document his process, and I've been kind of like, okay, yeah, so you're going to write up what you did and what you changed and this, that, and the other, and anyway.
Okay, just so a couple of things. I mean, I'm not looking for this to be long, but where are people like Armando in this? I mean, doesn't he have a bit of ownership?
Yeah, I mean, he does, and he's pushing on Aaron. I see him pushing on Aaron to say, Aaron, can we sort this out? And I think the challenge is that basically Aaron, I assume, has a full course load at Berkeley, and that's his personal priority. I mean, I don't think he's receiving payment as a TA to like do stuff this semester. There was some other student who was supposed to give us a certain number of hours and didn't. I mean, in some ways, I think it comes back. I do take a lot of the blame in that, the first meeting with Aaron and the AutoGraders is I missed that one, and he and I failed to sort of connect. I mean, really, I think that we needed to get the better documentation and stuff and other testing and things wrapped up before the semester started. But it was like, you know, at that point I was busy focused on the textbook. And yeah, I mean, I think, you know, and Amando's there, and he's very involved in this Mentiv thing, which is, you know, all based on around the MOOC, and then there's a big, you know, so it's kind of, this is bad for Armando. I mean, I think it's a reflection to a certain extent of, I don't know, I've been very, I don't know, it's like a complex, from my point of view, the bottom line is I think the AutoGrader is more complex than it needs to be. But, you know, we are where we are. But I think, right, you know.
One thought that I had is that, you know, maybe, if, you know, for my purposes, if we can't get anything working, is get the AutoGrader and run it, you know, sort of locally, or set it up.
That's another option because I mean, the new tests all pass and it will grade the thing locally. And we have had it done successfully. So we could try and roll another instance.
My only problem with that solution is that this homework, as much as, or maybe more so than the others, is the students getting the incremental feedback of submitting to the AutoGrader and finding like, this is what's passing, what's not, is actually valuable, as opposed to them, I'm just saying like, hey, submit your solution and then we'll grade it.
Yeah. No, I know. I mean, it's yeah, totally. It's not good.
Okay, so it sounds like you are going to try and look at and spend a little time and look into it. So I will
basically
that and cross my I do have a couple of questions associated with that.
Go ahead.
One is once we get, if we think, is where will the text to copy, will that be in the Fox test course, or you'll let me know where I should be grabbing that from?
Yeah, well, and I guess I will. Do we not have the homework for submission set up in your Spock already?
I'm not in the sense that you did it. I remember you did it with Tim.
I've done some of them, and then I was trying to like help some of your. Yeah.
I think we did it for 3, and on 4, I have a homework 4 page. I can't remember, you know, who created it or how it was created, whether it was, but it's not visible. I guess all I'm wondering, whatever it is, maybe it's, you know, at some point I would just like to know, and I figured this would be the easiest form, just to say, hey.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think what I would say to you is I'll create an action item here for me to just look at that. You can see the screen, I assume. Yeah, like I will, you know, basically what I will do this evening is I will get into the homework for grader and I will try and fix it, and I will try and get your Spock sorted as well. It's just that's easy to just get,
or at least let me know.
Yeah, or
right.
I think it's,
and the other.
But as I was saying, after what happened last time, trying to get your TA to do it and how that led to all sorts of problems, I'm just tempted to like just do it myself and just it will be relatively, assuming I've got the grader working, it will be relatively trivial for me to do it. So I will just do it, and I will leave documentation, you know. But it's going to be redundant because next, assuming that you want to carry on using the Spocks next semester, you'll have a clone of the new thing which will have all the stuff in anyway. So it's going to.
Right. All right.
Okay.
I'm just trying to reduce, you know, help and reduce your sort of workload as much as possible.
Sure. Which I
know exactly what you're saying. It's like I have all these TAs, and it's just easier sometimes for me to do it myself than
sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing is that right now the instructions say submit a zip file.
Yeah.
That to me is not, unless I'm missing something, is not adequate instructions.
I thought that I added more instructions.
Okay.
Here.
As long as you're aware of that, because you know, from what I'm seeing, and that may be in the.
Can you see the instructions? These instructions.
Got it. And that's obviously in GitHub. You know, if I looked at it. Fine. I don't know when you added it or whatever, but
I mean, this was basically the original problem with the homework grader when I released it was that it was just like not working, and the not very expansive error message. We got a exemplar from Aaron, and basically that worked, and then I had one of my TAs work out. Okay, it just needs to be, when you zip it up, it needs to be inside. It has to have a root directory.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what that directory is called, but it just has to be zipped up like that. So that was like 10 days ago. I then like added this, and then I said like, right, yes, grader live, we should be good. People started submitting. It was working as far as I understand. And then basically it sort of collapsed under the strain and, or something, I don't know, like a log file has overrun or what have you. I mean, we're in this one weird setup where we've got both the production grader and the staging grader running on the same box, which is not ideal. But anyway, I mean, you know, I think, you know, to the extent that I've now explored to the, I mean, what I would want to do is ideally just roll a new grader, but that's what I would like to extract from Aaron, and probably he doesn't even necessarily remember, is the process of setting it up, because I can just remember the process of setting up the old grader as being very, very involved. You've got to kind of like load a load of stuff out onto the file system, and, you know, this kind of, anyway, so I will be looking at it all in more detail tonight.
Okay, that's good. And, you know, even if, you know, and whatever the news is, I mean, I'm great at communicating, so it's even this is good or bad, because basically I have one more week. It's Wednesday officially is the last day of the semester, and I have no problem with it, you know, just saying, hey, it's due then or even a little bit after. But if not going to happen, I sort of want to have like a little bit different process, because this is, anyway, just for dealing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know that basically everything I do is going to go through the BetaSaaS mailing list.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I worry that I may be burning my bridges with Berkeley by being so open, but I don't know. I mean, I think it's important that for the whole process to be transparent from my point of view.
Yeah. And, you know, this is, I mean, I had like a little bit of, we can sort of end on this like little,
go on.
story. I had a little issue, and I think I communicated this, is like, when I first started this and Berkeley said, oh, we're going to give you AutoGraders and this and that, and then it never happened, and I had to roll my own the first time. I was sort of like a little annoyed, and I was a little annoyed with you, because you, like, whatever Armando and Dave were saying, it's like, oh, great, you're wonderful, it's like, this is great, whatever you do is fine. And I was like, oh, and then you know, now I realize you were just being you were being supportive, and it was good, but I was more frustrated back then, and I can hear the frustration in your voice too when the ball's on, you know, when the
yeah. Well, I mean, I mean, and you say I don't know. I mean, I remember that those first early teleconferences where it was. Yeah, I mean, I think that, but I don't know if you're referring specifically to me or to other people. There was a guy who. No. I mean, actually,
actually, it's literally you were very positive and supportive, and I was like, you know,
yes. I mean, I think that was part of you and I were getting, and I was, because I was getting what I needed at that time, and then I think, and you, I wasn't particularly using the AutoGraders in the first round, and you were very keen to get them, and I remember you. No, absolutely, you were kind of, I mean, I think it's an interesting thing there. I mean, the interesting thing I think there, and I have similar conversations with people here at Makers Academy about I mean, it's sort of, you know, how does one compel other people to get involved and do the things that you want? And, you know, there's a method which is kind of like, hey guys, come on, you said you were going to do this, let's do this. Or, you know, if we're professionals and we'll do this. And there's a kind of like, there's sort of a berating style. And then there's also a kind of like, you know, shall we call it the old English gentleman style, which I tend to generally prefer as a way of trying to entice people and, you know, lead them out into different situations. But I mean, you know, I mean, it's sort of, I don't know. I mean, I'm still very, you know, I think there's an exciting opportunity here. I mean, you know, Dave and Armando are offering more than anybody else is offering. Like any of the other software engineering textbooks don't try to offer this, you know, associated framework. So it's kind of, you know, I'm really pleased that they've put it out there. I mean, I think we have. It's just sort of ironic, the situation that we are with the AutoGraders. I mean, I think the whole thing needs a better business model.
Right. Yeah. I think sort of. We could even leave out the sort of it. It is ironic.
No, yeah, it is. It's deeply ironic. But anyway, yes. Well, I think we've covered the ground that we need to cover, and we've got some action items. So, shall we leave it there for this week? You good? Same time next week. Good.
And if there's any way that, you know, we can provide, especially with me or my TAs, can provide any help, you know, just let me know. I'm thinking we're not at that point. But,
yeah, well, what we might be doing, if I can't make progress tonight, we might be talking about getting you guys set up in order to be able to grade your own stuff directly. Or, I mean, I'm probably going to, we'll see. I will definitely be in touch if there's anything. Yeah, cool.
Okay. Right. Thanks so much. It was good talking.
Yeah, likewise. You know, have fun with you. So you said your classes end, like, you got one more week and that's it?
Yeah. We have 3 more classes. I have a guest lecture coming in today from a healthcare company, and then 2 more classes after that.
Cool. All right. Good stuff.
And I'm in the spring.
Yeah. Nice one. All right. Take care, man.
Okay.
See you. Bye for now.
Bye.